Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and all Pokémon in the arena. It's time for our 8th tournament. It's the gender difference tournament. I was looking for something fancy, something special, like the color tournament that isn't just, hey, like, this is a tournament, like, a kind of rule that people sometimes play with. I decided, let's come up with my own thing, like we did with the color tournament, and I came up with a gender difference tournament. These are the rules. We will be playing on a Generation 7 OU rules. However, as the title of the tournament suggests, we may only use Pokemon that have gender differences. What are gender differences? Well, there are Pokemon that, of the same species, look different depending on their gender. Some well-known ones are Jellicent and Hippowdon, who completely change color. Unpheasant is quite a famous one, where the male has a pink mask with long extensions on its face. Some lesser known ones are Gyarados with different colored whiskers, Hypno with more collar fur as a female, Raichu, who's of which the female's tail lacks a point, and there are many more Pokemon, a lot more than I knew about, which it was just really interesting to learn about all of these gender differences that I just didn't know about. And in case you're interested, gender differences have existed since Generation 4. That's when they were introduced. In regards to the Pokemon, we were using a list on Bulbapedia, which listed all of the Pokemon with gender differences. There's one Pokemon listed there that I didn't allow, and that's Nidoran. Nidoran is the only Pokemon with gender differences that is considered a separate species, Nidoran male and Nidoran female. And because they're considered a separate species, Nidoran is not allowed to be used in the tournament. You must use the same team throughout the entire tournament. You may not make any changes. Each round consists of a best 2 of 3 match. Stage 1 of the tournament will be a Swiss tournament. We have 12 participants, so there will be 4 rounds of Swiss. Stage 2 of the tournament will be a single elimination tournament featuring the top 4 from Swiss. With the rules out of the way, let's introduce you to my team. I had quite a bit of fun making this, some difficulties as well, obviously because the pool of Pokemon you can choose from is smaller. But I had fun making myself a team. We are starting off with the Dancer, Devastator, my Gyarados. Then second, we have the very technical Miss Rosie. As my third Pokemon, we have the appropriately named Sandy, the Hippowdon. As my fourth Pokemon, I'm pretty sure this was the first one I decided I wanted on my team. Meowstic. Fifth on my team, Ryoga, my Garchomp. If you can get the reference why it's called Ryoga, then good on you. Please let me know in the comments. That'd be fun when someone has figured that out. Also, by the way, my Meowstic is called The Future. I hadn't mentioned that yet. And then finally, my sixth Pokemon, Spaghetti Tangrowth. I realized when I finished building this team that I have 4 Pokemon that are weak to Ice, and none that resist it, with Meowstic and Gyarados taking neutral damage, so I was afraid of Ice Pokemon. There weren't that many. Weavile probably the most dangerous, although with it being quite frail, quite a glass cannon, I didn't think we'd see that many of them, and I did want to try Hippowdon Sandstream into Garchomp's Sand Veil ability. I really feel Rough Skin would be the best ability, but I wanted to try Sandstream and Sand Veil to see if that would give me some luck in this tournament. So let's get to the battle. Our first opponent is Tyler. And as I expected, there was no question about it, he was going to use Kricketune. He was going to use Whoop, but he wasn't going to use Kricketune because of that video, that person that made Kricketune into Whoop. But instead, I know he really likes to use Fell Stinger on Kricketune, either with Choice Band or with Metronome as an item, and just Fell Stinger. And then Kricketune can be really dangerous. Melodic is one of his favorite Pokemon, maybe his favorite, so it makes sense that he has Melodic. Then Roserade, Meowstic, Donphan, male Meowstic, just like I have. And then interestingly, he has a Combusken, likely holding an Eviolite. We'll see what his team can do against me. Let's go! Combustion comes out. I start with Sandy, setting up that Sandstorm. It's Gen 7 again, so no permanent sand. Set up the Stealth Rock. They didn't do too much damage, although they Fire Spin me, so I can't switch. I don't really mind, though, because I have Earthquake. They Toxic me. I Earthquake. Not quite the damage, because this is a defensive power, not an offensive one. Pretty sure that Earthquake is its only damaging move. Focus Blast for some good damage from Combustion, but Earthquake takes it out. That's a lead for me, 6 to 5. Sandy takes some more damage, although it can switch now. Melodic comes in, takes some damage. Spaghetti, Attract doesn't work. Nice to know that that female Melodic has Attract. Flame Orb, ooh, it burns me, it freezes me, that's not good. Flame Orb on Melodic, which suggests its ability is Marvel skills you could expect. Increase against defense by 50%. They send in their Meowstic, saying that both Reflect and Light Screen. Very likely they're holding a Light Clay, extending Reflect and Light Screen to 8 turns. My Meowstic has the same. They hit Spaghetti, they hit Spaghetti, they hit Spaghetti. I keep being Frozen Solid. I decided to switch it out to potentially be able to photo off Tangrowth at a later time, but also because that has a Regenerator ability, so it regains a third of its HP upon switching out. So even though it lists 14% here, because that's what the opponent is certain of, it will actually have 47% when it comes in. I decided to send in my Meowstic, not expecting them to do too much damage. They have Thunderbolts, but I just I set up my Light Screen, set up my Reflect as well. No, I Yawn first. That's one of the moves I decided to go with. Quite a useful one. They Rapid Spin, get rid of the Stealth Rock, but now they fall asleep. So I can use that to send in Spaghetti and hopefully do something, but here comes in Kricketune, and I know they have Fell Stinger, so no way is that going to happen. I immediately send in my Gyarados. Dragon Dance, and with one Dragon Dance I probably outspeed all of their stuff. So Supersonic Sky Strike, hopefully no Focus Sash, no they don't have it. And I have Moxie, and that with Supersonic Sky Strike and the other moves I have can be really dangerous. They have Reflect up, but I just Waterfall, and that's Meowstic gone. Another boost from Moxie, and because I outspeed after just one Dragon Dance, that's a lot of power. They recover, so I decide, okay, let's just go for the crit or just keep going. They attract me, that's unfortunate. I switched to Tangrowth thinking, okay, you know, this isn't really working. It's unfortunate to have to get rid of all those boosts, but with Attract, giving a 50% chance of not even attacking. Let's see if Spaghetti can do anything. Unfortunately, even with the second Regenerator heal it got from the switch when I sent it out against Kricketune, I just didn't have the luck. Stayed frozen for that long. Here I make a funny joke. If you let Spaghetti be frozen for that long, you probably don't want to eat it. I send in my Miss Rosie. Leaf Storm takes to the Melodic. Hobbs comes back in. I have Hidden Power Fire though, so that's going to deal a lot of damage. Aerial Ace. They have Technician, so that's going to take out my Rose Raid. Sandy comes in. Here comes their Donphan. I take a bit of damage from Poison. Do I switch? I set up Stealth Rock to hit the Kricketune later. How much? 34%, so that won't take out Kricketune, but it will deal a lot of damage. Ice Shard. Not that much. I just Whirlwind into Hobbs. I think I'm going to try and Whirlwind here again. No. I'm actually taken out. So I think I'm going to use this turn to set up, because I know Sandstorm will take out Hobbs. That's a lot of damage, though. More than I was hoping for, more than I expected. And here comes Ice Shard. And that actually takes a Garchomp's. That's not nice. Still have 2 Pokemon though. I decided to send it in the future. Use Reflect to have the highest chance of survival. Use Yawn. Make sure Donphan falls asleep. Give them even less chance to do anything. And then my final move on the future to reveal Psyshock. Shadow Signal would be more other options. I felt like Yawn was sort of a gimmicky thing, but I felt that that would be really useful. I did want a Psychic move, either Psychic or Psyshock. Was quite debating, like, it was quite a debate with myself whether it would be Psychic or Psyshock. I decided to eventually go with Psyshock. Even though it's weaker, it would work against things like, I don't know. I was gonna say Chansey, but Chansey doesn't have gender differences. There's no male Chansey anyway. Maybe I thought of that too late, and then I wasn't able to change anything anymore. Anyway, we win the first battle, so that's 1-0. One more battle, and we'll have won the match. Let's see if that happens in the second battle. They open with their Rose Raid, I open with Meowstic. Setting up a light screen. They have Round, interestingly, but they immediately switched out. I Psyshock trying to hit them, but that's probably why they switched. Light screen for them. I Yawn. And they just revealed that all of the moves on their Rose Raid are 60 base power or less for Technicians. So that's interesting information for later, although they might just be putting me on the wrong foot by lying. That is a possibility. Fell Stinger doesn't do too much damage. I set up a Stealth Rock. So many things on screen here. You can't even read it. Donphan comes in to Rapid Spin most likely, but I can deal some more damage just with Earthquake. I know they're Rapid Spin now. Ice Shard is probably the next move they will use. However, as we know from the previous fight, that's not going to do too much damage, especially with Reflect up. So I just continue Earthquake because that deals more damage. Ice Shard doesn't do much, and I just get a good amount of that back with leftovers. Both still have Eternal Reflect. I even crit! That is nice. Gyro Ball still doesn't do much because I'm slow. Both Reflects are gone. They decide to switch to Milotic to keep Donphan in. Earthquake hits Milotic pretty hard. They get burned, so they gain defensive power. I don't think I realized this at the time, although I do crit, so that's nice to have. Hydro Pump. Whirlwind. Get rid of that. Stealth Rock takes out Donphan. That is nice to have, so they can't photo that off with a switch into it. I approve of that switch in. I don't think I was hoping for it. I just want to get rid of the Milotic, but this is something that works. Yeah, this is something I did think about. I thought about using Donphan on my team for the sake of Rapid Spin, but I didn't expect to see too many teams with things like Stealth Rock or Spikes. I did expect to see some, but I didn't feel that Donphan was useful enough to make use of it, so I decided not to use Donphan. Magical Leaf from Cantarella on Miss Rosie, obviously not doing too much. Combuskin comes in. Hidden Power, Fire, yeah, that isn't going to do too much damage. Life Orb damage for me. Sludge Bomb doesn't quite deal the damage I wanted, probably because if you like Fire Spin, if they had Flamethrower, they probably would have taken me out, but they decided to go with a Fire Spin instead. Protect there to get another speed boost. Likely they do outspeed me now. Fire Spin dealing some more damage. And another Fire Spin finishes it off. I'm surprised they went the Fire Spin and not something else with full accuracy. Maybe they didn't want to get poisoned if they have only physical moves, who knows. Toxic. The Toxic Fire Spin, Protect. I don't think we know the other move yet. I use Whirlwind. Rose Raid comes in. I'm not too happy with that, so I just let my Sandy be taken out. I felt that that was the best way to go. They have the lead 5-4. I send in the future. Set up the light screen. They use Aromatherapy, waking up Hocus, and healing the burn from Milotic, which for Milotic is actually not a good thing, although Flame Orb is still equipped to it. So they'll get that back once Milotic has been on the field for one turn. 25% damage to the Hobbs. Extra damage from Psyshock. I decide to send in the Gyarados to resist that Fell Stinger. Still quite a lot of damage. I Dragon Dance. I outspeed. I know that much, so Waterfall gets some extra boost. Maybe Combuskin can do something, but I'm pretty sure Combuskin is at low. Yeah, it's at low HP, so Stealth Rock would take it out. Reflect is set up. That is smart. Hopefully it will help one of their other Pokemon do something. But will it really? I still have Supersonic Sky Strike. 185 with Stab. That's that gone. 3 times attack. My power keeps growing. Milotic takes some extra damage. Earthquake. Even with Reflect, that's gone. More power boost. And then Combuskin comes in. Stealth Rock takes it out. And Devastator is already in the first match showing that it can do a lot. There may be faster Pokemon in later matches, but with 1 or 2 Dragon Dances, if I can get that set up with this Gyarados, that can be really, really useful. Let's see if I can keep making use of that going into later rounds. That was this first round video for the Gender Difference Tournament. I hope you're looking forward to the rest. They'll be on my channel soon. Goodbye.